Hey everyone, thanks so much for tuning in to Near Disney. We are the Dream Team, local real estate experts coming together for a chat about everything that's happening in the market within a 25-mile radius of Cinderella's castle. Before we get into our awesome topics, let's cue the theme song. Awesome. Got the fireworks blasting. Just two Brady Bunch squares tonight. Stu is attending some family fun. So hey, that's good. Healthy work
Nice.
life balance going on. So happy to be joined in the square next to me. I am Elijah with Florida in Motion Realty. That's my name, just scrolling across the bottom of the screen there. And so, same name for my associate.
Hey, I'm Virginia Carlson, also with Florida in Motion Realty. Yes, and I like the scrolling numbers on the bottom. Very helpful.
It makes us feel like the breaking news that we are. Like it's
Mhm.
got that and that what we just don't now. We just need like the stocks of
Yeah,
the ups and downs of the Dow Jones like happening at the bottom.
exactly.
But we're
Exactly.
going to tell you about the real estate market and
Mhm.
the opportunities for there. I was just showing some properties to people who were looking for investment properties today, and I think that we maybe found some good stuff, some good condos. We just try to get that balance for just it's all about balancing the costs of the fees versus the amount of rent you can bring in and the appreciation and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But as you're joining in to the stream, please let us know who's watching. Say hi, maybe where you're watching from. We know that it's not just Florida. We got people from all across sometimes even the globe watching,
Yeah.
and that's super cool. So we always like to start with something light. I'm gonna bring up this development because last week or so we covered that Disney Hollywood Studios gave its send off to the experience of Muppet Vision 3D, and
Mhm.
there was even some people who we had worked with in the past who just came to Florida from New Jersey who like went to attend the final showing of Muppet Vision 3D. It was a very nostalgic and iconic
Yeah.
experience for Hollywood Studios, even back when it was MGM. But part of the update that I'm seeing here is that Disney has heard people's, and they say that the Jim Henson Company may release Muppet Vision 3D in VR, so that
Oh,
experience
cool.
may be preserved. It does feel like just vintage Muppets from like the
Mhm.
Brian Henson era. That's just so fun. That basically it says that the 70th anniversary of panel for the Jim Henson Company, we're told that discussions have started with Disney about the possible VR virtual reality release. Notably, Lisa Henson, CEO, stated the attraction has been documented with VR cameras. So before it had its final showing, some people went in there and rigged the auditorium so that, there was that ability to capture it for like a 3D headset experience that people
Mhm.
could put on and feel like they were experiencing that show. So basically, then Disney noted that they preserved the film from the attraction before it had closed down. So hey, even though
Good.
the Muppets are going to stay in Hollywood Studios, they're going to take over the Rock and Roller Coaster from
Mhm.
Aerosmith. That iconic, beloved experience could have a way to live on with like a virtual reality headset experience.
Yeah, that would be very cool. Definitely.
And then just speaking of staying in sync with everything that's happening with Disney, you found a really useful tool for like planning outings and maybe even date nights for Disney Springs in particular.
Yeah, so we often talk about big events that are coming up, but a lot of times, people, locals and people visiting, they kind of want something spur of the moment. And we just wanted to alert everyone that if you go to DisneySprings.com, you can find events that are happening today, or maybe if you're planning on going tomorrow or over the weekend, and they just have an events calendar that is up to date and current, and it gives you times and locations of all of the cool events that are happening. For instance, tonight, if you were heading out to Disney Springs, you can find events starting as early as 5 p.m. and there's like live music, and they show you where, or they tell you where the stages are and who's performing, things at Cirque du Soleil, and yeah, all the different artists that are signed up, and they have the times. A lot of times the people that are performing will do it multiple times during the night, so you can kind of walk around and see them basically every hour, maybe 6:45, 7:45, 9, and so on until Disney Springs closes. So we just wanted to let everyone know that you don't have to necessarily have something planned out for days in advance. You can kind of look things up, spur of the moment, and be able to find awesome things that are happening at Disney and Disney Springs.
Absolutely. And we just got a comment. Dune Buggy Jim says, "Hi, you two. Small but mighty group tonight."
Yeah, we like that. Yeah.
Yes. Well, thanks.
For
Thanks
sure.
so much. I appreciate that. Appreciate you commenting and watching, Jim. And yeah, 2 squares. It allows us to be bigger. So I'm ready for my close up, Mr. DeMille. But no, we love having you on and everyone else. So
Exactly.
absolutely. So yeah, I mean, sometimes I just show up to Disney Springs just because I feel like going, and
Mhm.
then it's just good to say,
Right.
oh, that was cool. I didn't know that was happening. If I knew, I might have shown up at like this other time and not missed it or
Right.
seen it from the start. So yeah, definitely good to plan. Know there's resources. DisneySprings.com/events/calendar.
Yes.
And then I
Very
found bringing things over to the real estate side of things. Just wanted to found an interesting market update that says there are home prices dropping in Orlando, bucking national trends as some neighborhoods are seeing declines. So in the Central Florida area, it's just like when we report somebody's good news is somebody's bad news. When prices are lower, or a lot of buyers, especially first time home buyers, they feel like, oh great, I have a chance to actually buy in. Sellers can go, oh gosh, I'm missing out on some equity. So sometimes it's going to be a little bit of trade-offs, but it looks like, according to this article, there's kind of like a mix of like some neighborhoods in Central Florida happen to be trending up right now. Some neighborhoods are seeing a little bit of a dip since last year, according to the most recent data. And I'll just like kind of share a little bit of that. Basically, the median home sales price dropped 1.3% year over year for the Orlando, Florida area. And basically, on the downside, so if you kind of want an opportunity to buy at a lower price for certain neighborhoods, like for example, it says Celebration, Florida, is kind of experiencing a little bit of a dip from last year, as well as Metro West and Kissimmee. So hey, if you want to be like at an opportunity to get a better potential deal on some of the town built by Disney, Celebration, Florida, that's a great time to get in touch with us. That's actually where our office is located, and we kind of have seen the inventory rise, creating a little bit more competition and seller concession opportunities. In fact, when it comes to Celebration, Florida in particular, we just got news that Island Village has just opened up its phase 2. If you're looking for like a new construction opportunity and you still want access to like the town of Celebration, it's amazing downtown, as well as that proximity to Disney and that like reputation for being a nice, safe community. Get in touch with us. You may have some opportunities to buy various kinds of floor plans at different prices for Island Village Phase 2.
Yeah.
But on the other side of this, there's some upside. So it might be a good time to consider selling if you're in any of these areas, because we've seen year over year home price growth in neighborhoods like Dr. Phillips. This 40% year over year change is amazing
Wow,
to me.
that's amazing.
We have done some Dr. Phillips showings lately. In fact, we do have like a listing in the Dr. Phillips area right now. So that's great. And the sellers are, have a good price. Spring Valley, 29%. Happy Trails, 20% up year over year increase. Altamont Springs, 17%. And then even like Winter Park is on the upside of this, like 13.8% year over year positive increase. So, like I said, it's always trade-offs. Somebody's good, somebody's bad.
Right.
We're here to work on both sides. We represent buyers and sellers, and we do our best for each of you to make you happy.
Absolutely.
Speaking of which, we do have a new listing in Celebration, Florida, the town
Mhm.
that was built by Disney. This is a neighborhood called Artisan Park. This is a beautiful condo listing that we have at 1400 Celebration Avenue, Unit 203, priced at 420,000 for 1,345 square feet, 2 bed, 2 bathroom. We have some beautiful photos of the inside that you could see. A very artisanal updates done with like this tray ceilings with wood
Mhm.
treatments and lighting built in. You've got custom California closets set up, beautifully remodeled bathrooms. What I
Very
find is just so many people are skimping on their bathroom updates. They go into the kitchen or they pick one, but they just don't do
nice.
every. And I'm just seeing with this one, they did everything. Beautiful
Yeah,
backsplash,
beautiful.
kitchen island, and of course a nice balcony to look out of. So for a 2 bed, 2 bath, that's in a beautiful area of town. Basically, it has like the Artisan Park clubhouse amenities. Like you've got an aerial view of it now. That's actually the largest pool in Celebration, exclusive for Artisan Park
Mhm.
residents. Got a clubhouse, got a fitness center, got a lot of that good stuff. And something I'm pointing out here is kind of like in tandem for that article that we just looked at when it said like maybe Celebration is seeing like a little bit like of a discount pricing. Um, Trend. To see 312 square feet right now is pretty good, given like the 5 year like historical trend right now. I
Mhm.
think that a buyer could see that like, okay, this is kind of a positive. Anyone who's been following the market for a while, because for in the height of things, we kind of even saw the market was trying to stabilize in like the 400s of
Right.
in Celebration, Florida, for price per square foot. Now we're seeing more things in the mid to high twos, and even here, like we've got 312 price per square foot. So yeah, that is something to be something to be aware of.
Yeah,
But
beautiful.
speaking of like, yeah, and that 420 price for all that exclusive, for all those updates, for living in Celebration, something to get in
Mhm.
touch with us about. Maybe even as like if you've been saving up as a first time home buyers, 2 bed, 2 full bath, not a bad situation in an elevator building. So tell
Yeah.
us what you found here about what the first time home buyers are really seeking in the market.
Yeah, so first-time homebuyers are not really, they're not necessarily looking for the luxury upgrades or over-the-top amenities, those kind of things. They are looking for more practicality, and affordability is definitely first on the list. Adjusting expectations, looking for smaller homes in more affordable markets, and maybe helping with down payment assistance. So that definitely comes into play with a first time buyer. They definitely are looking for move in ready. As I think most people when they think about buying a home, obviously if a renovation is on your agenda and you're interested in gutting and doing all that, but a lot of times the first time home buyers are wanting something that they can walk in the door and everything is ready. That's definitely high on the priority list. Just turnkey operation. Energy efficiency is on the rise for first-time home buyers. Features like smart thermostats and Energy Star rated appliances. We were talking about appliances a couple weeks ago and how the
Yeah.
newer appliances definitely are more efficient, and so it helps with your monthly electric bills for sure. Just to reduce those monthly expenses. And this is interesting that multi-generational homes are on the rise for first-time home buyers, teaming up with families to cut costs for buying homes that can comfortably fit multiple generations. So that's really something to look at. I think that's interesting that multi-generational homes are on the rise. And we see that people want to kind of collaborate with other family members and get something even better when you're looking at more than
Yeah.
one. Mm-hmm.
we have seen like a lot of younger people, like they get the loan or they get the condo or the starter home with like
Hmm.
a a gift, gift funds or co-signing of a loan from a family member in some cases. And then I guess like that multi-generational can make sense. It's like, well, it's a
Yeah.
gift because I'm living with you for a couple years, or
Yeah.
we're gonna, we're gonna share residency here. And I guess like Americans have just valued like personal independence from like 18, for decades. But it's just in some other cultures or other countries like across the globe,
Yeah.
it's like it's not crazy, or you're not a weirdo or a failure in life because you didn't like make it and get the perfect dream job and the big, house right as soon as you turned 18 or you graduated college. It's just it's just a
Yeah.
lot of people are just kind of seeing like, if I don't necessarily need that, and it just makes sense to save and maybe just pay a little rent to my folks for the bills or the mortgage or the HOA, and just
Yeah, and we're
yeah.
even seeing builders now making building homes with multiple primary suites, so
Right.
they can, work out maybe one upstairs and one downstairs. So you really can have that multi-generational, and everyone is happy with the
Yep,
layout.
everyone fits. Nobody
Mhm.
feels like they're living in the spare room or the
Right,
den, or
right, right.
like they get the bad, or even like if you're gonna keep that, because sometimes they say like the first home you buy, never sell it because the market's only gonna like, the decades will go up. You'll never get that price again from when you first bought it. And
Yeah.
so if you wanna hold that and rent it, by having the two primary suites, it could be like all the more rentable. Because if the people are going to be like a roommate situation or a multi-generational situation.
Hmm. Hmm.
Oh, it's something to talk about.
Right.
And kind of branching off there, we do want to like, we know that uh, we get a number of Disney cast members who watch, and sometimes we get shared to your various Facebook pages. So if you're watching, hey, thanks for checking us out. We're near Disney. We try to cover Disney and Universal as much as possible. We love working with you guys. You guys are the best people, and we try to do everything we can to be your go-to for Disney cast members. And
Absolutely.
so we had this guy, local Nick Muccigrosso, on the show as a lender who has like a really works with Annie Mac, really like creative lending programs for people who are like first time home buyers, especially. And he put up like this TikTok or like, story video on his business page recently that I just thought shared some really interesting thoughts. He was saying like somebody was having a meet with him about deciding whether it was time to finally buy. And because they said like, when I went into, I'm facing with this rental situation where it looks like that the prices are going to be like between homes and rentals are like, sometimes they're asking for like first month, last month, security
Hmm.
deposit, pet deposit, like all up front,
Right.
and then it was like around like $7,500, $8,000 just to get in. And
Right.
what he was like reminding us on his video is that with down payment assistance, and even like if realtors like you and me, Virginia, can negotiate seller concessions,
Hmm.
uh, we could kind of like put you in a scenario where it could maybe make sense to be purchasing a home for less than that like $8,000 upfront amount. And basically, paying somebody else's mortgage. So basically, we try to keep a network of really great, positive, creative, and good reputation lenders in our sphere to set you up with conversations, see who's offering the best program with the best rates for you at any given time. So yeah, this guy is with, like I said, Annie Mac, the Family First team. We had him on to discuss. It was like a program called Cash to Keys, where
Hmm.
like it was a really competitive market, and you could make a financing offer look like a cash offer.
Right.
Because there was like an equity firm who could like put up that cash,
Hmm.
and then like you work with them later so that you don't miss out on your dream home or your dream opportunity. So if you're watching and you're paying like $2,500 to $3,500 in rent, just maybe get in touch with us. Like I said, our numbers are scrolling around the bottom. We can talk to you about some of our lending partners or people who have worked with some of our clients in the past about what that same money could buy. Yeah, basically, also in addition, we can talk to you. They can talk to you about like the ways you can write off your interest payments on your taxes. That can even like just save you because your like total costs for the year, and just just make it as easy as possible to make the leap into buying.
Yes, yes. We definitely have ways of just different routes you can take to get into home ownership. So if renting doesn't really want to, you don't really want to be the renter for much longer, then there's creative ways that we can look into getting into home ownership, which you're virtually paying the same amount for a mortgage than you would for the monthly rent.
Exactly. Because I know that like that big barrier that people say like, well, of course we'd all love to buy it, but like the difference between renting and buying is like for many people that is that hurdle that stops them is the down payment.
Down payment.
And so like that's where like sometimes the rates or like the programs and the assistance for these lenders can come in, reduce that as much where it can be pretty comparable, and then actually get you into building equity through home ownership.
Yes.
Let's see. And also, in addition to that, I got a message today from another lending partner, Sol Nicoletti. She talked about like the latest with the Hometown Heroes program. So that's going to be coming back. Basically, it's getting funded around $50 million, and the program is set to relaunch mid-July. So it's something to be thinking about next month if you're like kind of one of those Hometown Heroes professions to get that kind of assistance. So basically, there will be like qualifying options, but if you just kind of said like, I've heard about this Hometown Hero stuff, is it back, is it funded again, is it something that we can explore? Because does my profession qualify as like as a hometown hero kind of? And so yeah, definitely reach out to us. It looks like that's coming back, and we'll be happy to put you in touch with lenders for that too. Just wanted to equip you with all the power, everything that you're entitled to.
Yes.
Yeah, to give you the best deal. And lastly, I just want to say, as in addition, I made a trip this week to Universal Studios Epic. Finally,
Nice.
I didn't get in May 22nd, but hey, early June was still great. So
good.
I checked out. I put on my funny shirt, and yeah, just checked out the rides. Just took shameless selfies, merchandising.
Did
I
you
didn't buy
that?
it. No, I
Okay.
the employee was very funny. He like shoved that big pink Yoshi like right at me the second I walked in. He's like, "You need this," and I said like, "Well, maybe I'll need a picture with it."
I'll just need a photo. Yeah.
But because I was trying to think like, I live in like 1,000 square feet condo, and I'm already pretty materialistic. I have no idea. Like, I'm not one of those like there's girls out there who just like cover the bed in every kind of plushie.
Yeah.
It's a trend these days. But yeah, I do recommend this ice cream cone drink with banana flavored fizzy soda on at the Donkey Kong stand. Like there's like a stand that basically only sells this thing, and it is tasty. It was worth it. And like part of what's garnished on it, you can't even really see unless you zoom in. There's kind of like little chunks of like Heathcliff bars, and also like caramel popcorn is all over that thing.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was like, when I was taking a bite of ice cream mixed with caramel popcorn, that was it. That's me swearing undying fealty to Princess Peach.
Yes.
You got to do that. How to Train Your Dragon was pretty cool too. Like that one's like the biggest one that I saw. It was everything they did was world class. Like it's a 2025 opening theme park, and it doesn't feel like, oh, these are dated animatronics from the 60s, like in some little like nicks of Disney that haven't been updated yet. Or this is like everything was just world class. I wouldn't sleep on the Monsters Park either. That Frankenstein ride was very cool, where you got to hunt Dracula, and the headset that they put on, like augmented reality with
Yeah.
the Mario Kart ride, is crazy. That's like I can see that as like a future of home entertainment. Like it's literally it feels like virtual reality. Stuff's just flying right in front of your face, and you're just
Cool.
interacting with it through that visor screen. So,
Awesome.
hey,
I'm glad you got to
it's
go. It's
awesome
exciting.
tech. Yes, yes. I know. Yeah. Hopefully, you will be getting a chance as well someday.
I'll get there. Yeah. That's awesome. Cool.
So let us know if any of you watching have checked out Epic Universe yet. If you have a favorite park out of all of them, or a favorite ride that you recommend or don't recommend. I don't know. I thought they were all pretty
Yeah,
cool.
we want to know either way.
Yeah, just tell us about your experience.
Mhm.
We do love to spread the joy here. I got joy on my left, I got joy on my right,
Yep.
and eagle-eyed people might spot there's even a new joy that's written on the wall right here, just filling in every little blank space. So
Yeah, absolutely.
if you enjoy our show, please hit the like button, and we'd love it if you would hit the subscribe button as well. We're trying to be on the path to 10,000 subscribers. When you engage with us like that, it boosts us in the algorithm, helps more people from across Florida and across the country to actually have these videos show up in their recommend feed. Hey, I got a comment here.
Yeah, I see.
Christy, thanks so much. Christy says, I got to go during team members previews. Ooh, thanks.
Ooh, that
Thanks
sounds
for sharing
fun.
that. That is. I loved Mario Kart Madness. You know what? That was my favorite thing that I did.
Cool.
What's so cool about that one is that the weight was cool. Everything that they decorated the Bowser Castle with while you're weaving through the line,
Oh, that
even
makes such
just
a
on the
difference.
stairs.
Yeah.
There's just always something to look at and
Yeah.
engage with the whole way while you're standing around, and all the different props and little references. It's just kind of like Hogwarts Castle in that way. That makes
cool.
it. And that's why when I waited 80 minutes for like Donkey Kong, I was like, I gotta see if they did the same thing there. They did not decorate that line experience nearly as thoroughly and intricately as they did the Mario Kart Madness one. But there were still some fun things. People had like a way to scan their bracelet into things that like made like light up bananas like come up everywhere, and fun little music jingles play. So like there's definitely still cool stuff to look at in the Donkey Kong ride, but I gotta say Mario Kart is certainly like the main attraction.
Awesome. I can't wait
And
to check it out.
Yoshi was cool as like a sightseeing thing. Like it later weaves you through the whole park with like aerial views, and it's just like a little chill ride. You can get your phone out. Like they don't care about like a lot of the rides. They say like don't take your phone out, no flash photography. Like everyone was just using that as a way to record their fun park experience.
Yeah.
Just because that one was so chill.
Nice.
Well, so thanks so much for your comment, Christy. Oh, and you say it will be nice when there's more shade. Oh my gosh, that is like there were some covered strips over like the part of the Donkey Kong line. I would have appreciated it if the entire line was totally covered in those shade umbrellas. But hey, you know what?
Yeah.
I put on enough sunscreen and I did not get sunburned. I did the right thing as a Florida boy.
Yes,
I know
you have to wear sunscreen
the
every day.
meta.
Yeah.
Especially when you're going to the theme parks.
Exactly.
So put it on, reapply, hydrate, bring water, buy water, however you want to do. So yeah, appreciate y'all watching.
Ooh.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Take care. We do a Friday show as well, where we cover more of what's happening in the 25-mile radius of Cinderella's castle. But I think that's all we got for you today. So I'm going to leave it to Kim Hawk, the fairy godmother of real estate, to sign us out. Have a good one.
See you next time.
Make sure that you subscribe and like so that we can continue to give you up-to-date information on all things that are going around the 25-mile radius of Cinderella's castle, because this is truly a magical place to live.